Okay, guys, hello, good morning. We are live on Instagram and setting the camera. Yes, we are live on Instagram, live on Zoom, live on Facebook. So if you're joining us on Zoom, you can unmute and ask questions. If you're on Instagram, you can type in your comments. I will take a look at them. If you're on Facebook, I'll not be looking at your comments of what you're typing until the call is over. So I can get to that. What do you guys want to, what's coming up for me is the way people take you for granted. Have you guys gone through it? The way people manipulate you, and then they tell themselves that they are good and you are the one who is wrong. Have you guys gone through that? And you always feel that it's right, that you are wrong. And it's so evident that even when they do something so wrong, they do not acknowledge it, and they want to make you feel as though you're the person who's made a mistake, you're the person who's bad, especially when it comes to money. Have you guys faced that? They don't want, people don't want to pay you, they don't want to give you the money, they don't want to treat you well, and then they make you feel as though you are, you are the one who's stealing their money and all sorts of stuff. So everything that brought up and let down will you destroy and uncreate? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and girls. So allowance doesn't mean you be a doormat. It doesn't mean you allow these people to walk on you. It also means you standing up for yourself, you asking, you taking the action that at least they don't, you don't, you don't be bothered by it for the rest of your life and worry about it, but you have to take the appropriate action when required. So have you like stopped, have you not taken the action that was required or not spoken what you wanted to, just because you did not want to offend someone or you didn't want someone to judge you? So everything that brought up and let down for you will you destroy and uncreate? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Everywhere you allow everyone to take you for granted and you want to keep up the image that you are a good person, will you now destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I used to give payment plans. Stop now. There are people who had taken installments from me and they've not paid me for 2 to 3 years. And when I ask them the money, they make me feel as though I'm the bad person. I have done them a mistake. I have like, you have money. Why are you asking me? But you took the service from me. You told me to pay me. So just want to give you guys something about, do not take installment options, even if you know the person, because when it comes to money, the way they behave is very different. And sometimes they want to pay, but they'll not have the money. So it's not a good idea at all. And they're not also going to receive the energy fully if you do give them an installment option, even if you know them really well. So this year is when I think I've completely stopped giving that. And there was one time where I thought, I know this person very well, let me give it. That also didn't work out. So maybe it's time to never allow yourself to take yourself for granted. Because if you take yourself for granted and you don't value yourself, then others will do that. And they don't like you anyway. They're not, I realize that they're not paying me not because they like me and they don't want to pay me, they just don't want to pay me. So you're not doing them a favor by not asking them or calling them on what they're doing. But sometimes even if you call out people, they will still not pay you or do stuff. They'll still like just keep saying things. So what if you don't have to hold on to that past? And what if you can forgive yourself for everything that you've done there and just focus on the future? So everything that brought up and let down will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Okay, so I just remembered I have to type something. I'll just get back. And so this person, like, she told me, come for this course, I'll do this for you, this will happen, and by April this will happen. So I thought, you never believe what people tell you, please. So I believed her. I thought she's a really good person and she's such a sweet person and blah blah blah. And then nothing happened in April. So I was like, this is not happening. Can you give me the refund? And then now she's making me behave as though I'm the one who's bad, or why am I asking for a refund? I'll give you an extension, she told me. I said, I don't want an extension. I want a refund because what you told me is not happening. And then she's like, it's unofficial, this, that, and you're the bad person. And so I was just again coming back to really the basics. Do not expect people to keep up their word. Get things in writing. If people are saying something to you, do not trust them. And I knew at that point, I knew that this may not happen. It's highly likely it will not happen. Maybe I should get it in writing, but I just thought, okay, it's fine. It'll be fine. She won't do like that. And maybe it's right at that point, maybe my awareness was right at that point, but people change because awareness is very momentary. But what happens every 10 second changes. Aditi, my voice is perfectly fine. I don't know. My voice is fine, right? So she's asking what happened to my voice. My voice seems
Yes,
perfectly.
yes,
Yeah. How
yes,
does
perfect.
right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, birds, and beyonds? So it's just that what they take you for. And then there are other people who are like always calling, give me this for free, give me that for free, I would like your time for free, I would like this for free. So why would you dishonor someone like that? Why would you assume things like that? And why would, I'm talking about me, why would I like allow people to take me for granted that way? So those are things we have to look into. Are we are you still trying to please everyone because you're insecure of yourself? Would you like a more conscious world where things are more fun? So everything that brought up and let down, destroyed and created. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, bock, all nine shots, boys, birds, and beyonds. But one lesson which we always already know so well, and yet keep doing, yet keep getting to the same thing again, is do not expect people to keep up their words. Get it in writing if someone is promising you something. Because later, when I'm like, she's not even talking that she promised me something. She's like, even disacknowledging that, is that what I said? And then I talked to someone else because she left the organization. So I'm like, let me talk to someone else in the organization. And that person is like, we didn't tell that to anyone. It's your fault. It's not our fault. So, it's like they don't want to even say sorry. That's how people are. That is how people be today. They do not keep up their words. They don't want to apologize. They don't feel bad about what they do, and they make you feel bad. Unfortunately, there are many people like that. So everything that brought for you and let down for you will you destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, mills. So it comes down to what if you don't. And in this case, 100%, even if you look at right, wrong, she was the one who told me she'll do something and didn't do it. So she's the one who has to take the responsibility. I'm not saying that she's wrong, but even when you look at right and wrong, they push it as though you're wrong. And in a way, I was wrong in not getting it in writing. I was wrong in giving installments. So in a way, you are responsible for a lot of the problems that you create in your life. But what if you can forgive yourself for that? What if you can let go and forgive yourself for the way people have treated you, and you have allowed people to take you for granted? It's not going to change. So whatever she said and she's not done is not going to change. But why am I holding on to it? Why am I not forgiving myself for being an allowance of myself for it? It's because the energy is very strong from the other person, that you're the one who's wrong, I'm not wrong. You're the one who's being cruel, you're the one who's being not an allowance. And especially when you do all of this, people expect you to be an allowance. You're the one who's going against, you're the one who's not being conscious. And these are all judgments that you can perceive from them. They will never tell you directly to your face, but I can perceive what they're thinking and what they're saying. And in the background, you, and actually you don't like it when people don't keep up their words. They say something and they don't do it. you are at some level expecting things to happen, and how much ever you've grown beyond expectations, you know not to expect things from people. But this is a business deal, it's not a normal thing. It's like, I've paid for something, I've paid for the service, and this is what she said. So it's not like, you're just saying, I'll take you for lunch, I'll take you for dinner, and I won't. So it's a completely different transaction. But even in business transactions, make sure that, do not believe what people say. And they say all amazing stuff till you pay them the money. After you pay them the money, it's a very, very different it's a very different way they behave. Have you guys faced that? When I'm publishing books, till I publish, till make the payment, I get amazing calls, and they assure me of everything. I'll take care of this, the samples, everything is perfect. And then I was actually told him, once I make the payment, I don't know how you're going to treat me. Are you like going to treat me the same way? And he's like, of course I will treat you the same way, of course I'll treat you the same way. And after I did the payment, he's not available at all to talk about anything. So everything that brought up and let down will you destroy and uncreated, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. And then I'm like, hey, what's up? And I took 1 week of messaging, okay? Because I be persistent. Because I have invested in this. And you have to follow up. You just don't let it be like, if those people say I can't do it, if you give up, it's done. So that's not even an allowance. That, are you truly standing up for yourself? So I was like, what's happened? And then he told me, like, sorry, I was in a major accident or something, which seemed uh, which was true. It didn't seem a lie. Something is going on in their space. But is my point of view that, once I pay, then this is what they're going to do. That also adds to it. But sometimes, even if you don't have the point of view, people are very different. Once you take in their services, the way they treat you is very different. Before you go in, they don't keep up their words. And not keeping up their words is one thing. Not even feeling apologetic is the other thing. Now, it's not that we want to make people feel apologetic for who they are or what they do. It's just that, it comes to that they don't even feel what they're doing is wrong, and they're ready to do it again. And they are the victim. Even though that you have lost something, they are still the victim. So it's playing the victim, it's manipulation. So one way of manipulating is to make you pay. They say whatever you want, whatever they want to say to make you pay, again, which is not wrong. It's their business, they want to go. You have to be aware enough of the manipulation. You have to be aware enough that this may not work, and is it okay if it doesn't work? So when I did sign, I was like, it's okay if it doesn't work, but I would ideally have liked it to work. It's not a huge loss, but still it's more of trusting a person. And not even about the money, it's about like trusting this person, and this person whom I had trusted did this. So the other thing to learn is only trust yourself. Just trust yourself, and do not judge yourself. It's okay. People will, you can't even say let you down, but people will be people. They will do what they want. You cannot be dependent on them to keep their word, to do anything for you, to respond on time to you, to treat you well. These are not things that we have to expect from people. But what you can do is treat yourself well. What you can do is, if something is important for you, you have to take charge. You have to do it. Do not expect the person that you've paid will do that just because you've paid it. You have to like keep following up. And this is consistent in any service that you take, whether it is the website, whether it's the books, whether it is dealing with someone. So in this whole deal, how do you stop judging yourself? How do you stop saying that, I shouldn't have done this, I knew this person was this way in the first way, I shouldn't have, I knew there would be something going wrong. So the thing is, every day when you've made the choice and then you keep pondering, is it going to work or not? I've paid, now will their service be proper or not? Or this is how it is, I don't like this. When you keep thinking that, that's what you attract. So in one way, you are not you're projecting in ways that something will go wrong. You're not fully receiving what you have signed up for. So what if you can receive that? And what if you can completely be non-judgmental of yourself, because the person that's most important is you? And what if you can take feedback? I mean, it's not that you never make mistakes or you've never done something wrong. What if you can take that feedback, and if it relates to you that, okay, I should have, so what related to me is I should have got it in signing, even if it's a business transaction, and I know that person really well, please do not trust them. And it's not that she wanted to manipulate. I mean, she did manipulate, But she thought something will happen. They think things will happen. Things don't happen. Like 5 months down the line, if you think something will happen, it's not that exactly that will happen, right? Time changes, things change. So their plans did not fall through. So what she said did not happen. The funny part is, she could have called me and said, "This is not happening. I told you this is happening. It didn't happen. Nothing. I have to ask her. I have to talk to her. I have to literally, keep asking what's happening because I'm the one who's invested, and they are not interested at all. So everything that brought up and let down will you now destroy and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, boys, and beyonds. So the whole thing here is how do you let this go, move on? How do you completely be non-judgmental about yourself? How do you let go of mistakes? So I make many mistakes, not one or two, and I'm so much in allowance of my mistakes. I'm so okay to say sorry, I made this mistake, I have to correct the spelling, sorry this went wrong, or to laugh it off that so I forgot recordings. That's all fine, but when you trust a person and then they don't do it, it still hurts a little. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, boys, girls, which is something you should work on. And Gary said something amazing. You can only trust people to be who they are, not who you want them to be. So when they give you a word, why do you trust them to be that? Why don't you see who they are? Why don't you, when you working with someone, get to know who they are from a different perspective? Are they authentic? Do they keep up what they say? Do they come on time? These are small things to even know about the person. If they tell you I'll come on this time, do they come on that time? Do they keep triggering you? How kind are they to you? When they've interacted with you, are they listening to you, or are they like just invested in themselves and just asking about themselves? So all this gives you awareness to some extent of uh, how much you can trust the person, and do not trust people to keep up their word at all. So if you're investing, go with the mindset that even if this doesn't work, I'm okay with it. It would work for me, and that's when you should even go for that. Otherwise you should look for something better. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. Ankita is asking, when you're aware that someone is using their power not in your favor but against you, do we cut off with that person or in allowance? You can be in allowance, and allowance doesn't mean that you don't cut them off. You don't exclude the person from your universe. That's because we're all in oneness. And no excluding doesn't mean not cutting off. You have to be very aware of what that person is, what they're doing. Are they doing this to anyone else? Because I don't want this to happen to anyone else. So everything that brought up and let down, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, boys, meons. But I don't want to put too much energy into it also, because if I put too much energy into it, it's going to happen to someone else. So it's a tricky, it's very tricky there. So what if you can just be grateful? And again, being in allowance doesn't mean cutting off. Cutting off, maybe you will not talk to them again, but do not exclude them from your awareness. That is no exclusion. I mean, if they are mistreating you, it's your choice that you don't want to talk to them again. Or but when you exclude them out of your awareness, then you will not know when maybe they're genuinely made a mistake. When they're ready to do sorry, you'll not know. When they've changed, you will not know. When they're doing it to others, you'll not know. So what we're saying is, do not exclude them from your awareness. But talking to them or not is up to you. It's very unkind of you to talk to someone who's mistreated you or completely disrespected you and give yourself that space or that time. And, so that's how it is. So everything that brought up and led down, really destroyed and created, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. So everywhere you're allowing people to take you for granted, will you now destroy and uncreated, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. Everywhere you know how to honor yourself, but you still end up not doing it because you're insecure that you will lose something, or because you want to please someone, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. So everywhere you know how to honor yourself, but you do not do it because you feel insecure about something, or you want to please people. How many of you have dishonored yourself because you want to please someone, because that person should not judge you, that person should not think that you're bad, or that person should, for example, we had this no refund policy. I have a no refund policy, no refunds. And then there are people who, they're like joined, and then they say, I want a refund because of this, because of that. When you signed up, there are no refunds. And it's very hard for me to process refunds because the GST is, goes off, and then you have to do that, and I have to like keep track of why I refunded, how. It's not an easy job. Otherwise, I do not mind. It's not that we have something that just says refund and everything goes off, and it's still like, I want a refund, I want a refund. And then you're like, we've already told that, and then they come and argue with you, give me a refund because my father is in a court, or because I have to go to the hospital, I'm the victim here, or this happened to my father-in-law and all that. It's very hard to process refunds. So we from my side, and we have said clearly no refunds, but then they're still like, I'm the victim, you do this, you do that. So I then end up, I've given refunds, and it's people do not get your perspective. Are you honoring your perspective, one? And are you caught up in trying to please them? You don't want them to feel bad. You don't want anything bad to happen to them. You don't want them to even think bad of you. So how many of you are still holding on to that? And whether you give the refund, whether you don't, whether you you know do the best for them, they still do judge you. They still, however good your intent is for them, however well you wish them, they will still want to take you for granted when they can. And it's not because of them, it's because somewhere your relationship of honoring yourself, your trust with yourself needs some work on. So everything that brought up and let down, will you now destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, boys, men. Guys, is it resonating with anyone? Am I just talking too deep, or how are you guys reading?
Yes,
Yes, thank you so
yes,
much.
टोटली ऐसा लग रहा है कि हाँ रात को जो क्वेश्चंस थे उसके आंसर्स मिल रहे हैं. थैंक यू सो मच.
Okay. Because I'm just reading the energy and I'm like, what am I talking about? Am I talking too deep? Am I, what's happening? Yeah, Kanika is saying she felt like refunding the participant because they did not receive the class properly. No, but you have given your service. The receiving is up to them. You have given the service of the class. You have given what you committed for. Whether they receive or not is up to them. And if they don't receive, doesn't mean they should not pay because they've taken it. It's so funny, Kanika, with bars. I have been there. And she did receive it pretty well, is also what Kanika is saying. That's Kanika, if you don't take the payment first, things like this may happen. Even if you've taken the payment first, if they keep projecting that this didn't work, it's not what I expected, you keep getting that energy, and in some way you feel like, let me just refund, I did something wrong, let me be kind, I want to be a good person. And you always feel wrong. But is that truly honoring of yourself? And did she truly not receive? So everything that brought up and let down for you, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, perseverance. And this is what I'm talking about. See, the contract here is, if they come for the class, they pay you. If they're coming for the bars class, they have to pay you. There's a fixed amount. And it's very clearly also said that even in the video it says, best case your whole life will change, worst case you're just going to feel like a good massage, you're just going to relax for some time. So that's all even they're talking about. So I'm sure that would have happened. So when you have given what you were supposed to, and then the other person doesn't receive it, and then they try to project that, I didn't receive it um, because it was not good, or because of you, or things like that, you automatically start feeling guilty and want to give a refund and want to get into a circle and stop your next classes, and start thinking, did I do something wrong, did I not create something? So everywhere you're buying everyone else's judgment around you, will you now destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, boys, mirrors. And yes, truly, if you did do a mistake and you were not present, you would fix it, work on fixing it. Okay, I know that this is what I should do better. How do I do better next time? How do I shift this for myself? And one thing we can do is we can ask for people who can receive. So what would it be like for those people who can receive my classes, can show up? Everything that is not allowed, that will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, boys, millions. If you're not just interested in all the people coming and paying you, and you're more interested in what change can I create? Who can receive from me? You can ask questions that way. And you can ask for the people who genuinely will receive what you have to offer and who would, pay you with gratitude. So what would it be like for those kind of people to show up in my space? And everything that does not allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. So everywhere I'm still not honoring myself or trusting myself completely, I now destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. Everywhere I've known I've been manipulated, and yet they are acting like the victim, will you now destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyond. It's very crazy. Everything is manipulation. So when that person tells you, come for this class, I will make this happen for you, it is a manipulation, and then they don't make it happen, and they say it's not my fault. We lost the money. That didn't happen because of this, and everything that's going on. I've seriously got tired of hearing. What is happening in my life. So is it like if something bad is happening in your life, you don't have to pay the other people, or you keep up your word for a business service and you don't do it? Will that work in any sort of business? They're going to like kick you out if you don't pay them. But for them, it's like, it's okay. I can't pay. Not I can't pay. What am I talking about? It's like, I can't give back this. I committed to giving you this service, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen because it's not my fault, because this went wrong, that went wrong, we lost money, so we cannot pay you. So all those things, how is it? It's not fair, right? This is where life gets a little unfair. How is it even fair that you will put your problems on the other person and you will act like a victim? That is to manipulate them. That is to manipulate them into, uh, you know, not asking you things for you to get away. So people play the victim because you will then feel sorry for them and you will say, okay, I'll give you a refund. It's okay. You don't have to pay me. I'm completely okay if, you know, um, it's okay because you are in a bad space. But how is that honoring of you uh, at all? And how do you feel about that? So, so again, it comes back to, and when they manipulate you being a victim, again, you want to please them. You're more about let them not get into a worse space. They're already in a bad space. They're already not able to do this. But you add to that energy. And when people say things like that, that becomes true for them. So one thing I know is like whoever did that, that's going to be true for them because you're constantly functioning from the victim energy. And I have invested money with them, and they didn't do what they said, and now she's like, I'm not responsible for it, it's not my fault. And there are a lot of bad things happening in my life. So everything that brought up and led down will now destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. And you can be there only for people who want to be there for themselves. You cannot save the victims who don't want to be saved, who never wanted to give you what they said in the first place, who never wanted to pay you in the first place. So when people like this are there, even if you're kind to them and said, okay, let me help you once, it comes back to, not in a good way, because that's not who they were. There are some people who are really genuine and at times, say that I'll pay you later very genuinely. Uh, I'm not talking about those people, but there are many people who don't want to, who, have some agendas in the back, who don't want to keep up their word and do things. And when you get into judging yourself, these kind of people increase in your space. So what if truly you just choose consciousness for yourself? Truly you learn how to stop getting triggered by all of this. And stop getting triggered by this is one thing, but making sure that you don't allow the same thing to happen a second time is smartness, not out of judgment, not out of I will never do this again, this should never happen to me, I've made such a mistake. Then you will attract the same thing, and that's how you beat yourself up, that's how you judge yourself, and that's how you hold on to your past and your mistakes, and now that person has complete control over you. But how will you be there with yourself and yet be aware that this is something that I do not want to do again. This is something I will not get into again, because I'm honoring myself. And it's okay what's happened. I have learned something valuable from this. So everything that brought up and let down, will you now destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, poison, anything to make you feel lighter about it, anything to show you that you have evolved out of it. So everything that brought up and let down, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shots, boys, words and beyonds. So the funny thing about manipulation is people are always manipulating you. Some people do it consciously, some people unknowingly, but they are constantly saying, see, I'll give you this, then this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. So they are manipulating you, and sometimes you want to be manipulated. You are happy to get manipulated because that's what you wanted to hear. That's what you were exactly looking for. So your awareness goes for a toss, and you're like, this is what I wanted. The universe made it happen. And then you're like, yeah, and then you might be aware for a second, and then you're out of the awareness because it's like really what you wanted. That person is so good, I just want to trust them. You don't want to look at who they truly are, you don't want to be present with it. And then you're like, yeah, I just trust them, so I'll just do this. So you are willing to be manipulated. They are manipulating. But when you tell them they manipulated you, they don't like it at all. They will never agree to that you have been manipulated. They will say, I'm not manipulating, I was honest, this is what it is. Maybe, of course, they know that they're manipulating. Of course, they know somewhere they're playing the victim. Of course, they know what they're doing. And you also know, but it's not good. It's not going to help in any way to, keep saying that, no, you manipulated or you're lying. It doesn't help at all. So there we be in allowance. And here, even being in allowance of self is more important, because it's very easy to get into, you made the mistake and you shouldn't have done this in the first place, rather than blaming them as wrong, because you never feel anyone else is wrong. You always feel you're wrong. I mean, you always know that you're the one who's wrong. They are never wrong. They have genuine problems. They are good people. It's just that they don't have what's happening, and you buy all their lies and their stories. So everywhere you are manipulating yourself to not be in your awareness and to stick with your wrongness, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, birds, and men. And what value do you see in manipulating yourself into this? Do you feel that it comes from, deeply comes from being insecure that I don't have this, or without this person, this will not happen, or, the fear of failure. So I'm going to fail if I don't do this. So I might well as do this right now because the offer seems good. Or, you have to prove yourself to you. I have to prove myself. I think at that point I really I wanted to prove something to myself, and that's why I was like, I listened to whatever she was saying, like, I'll give you by April this. And I was like, yeah, I'll have to prove by April I can get this. Otherwise I really would have rethought the whole thing and wouldn't have been here. But anyway, good thing is now, at least I know, I was aware that where I was functioning from, and where I am, I might still be functioning from, and how do I change it? And all comes back to how insecure you're about yourself, how you want people to just love you because you judge yourself so much. It doesn't work, because the more you're judging yourself, no one is truly going to like you. You will not allow them to truly like you. It means there may be people who genuinely like you and adore you and respect you, but are you going to allow it if you are judging yourself? So everything that brought up and let down, will you now destroy and uncreate it once and for all eternity? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shots, boys, birds, and millions. Are you going to allow those people to be there for you if you yourself are not being there for you? If you yourself are going, I'm wrong at every instance. So what if you can just give up this whole self-judgment, which is what they say, the first thing in bars, the one thing you learn is to not judge yourself. So everything that is times a godzillion, will you now destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, birds, and millions. Usha is saying, what about family too? What question to ask in this situation? Same question. I mean, what different question? Why would you ask a different question for family? You still have to honor yourself. You still have to take care of yourself, be there for yourself. And And you know, it's about why what if you can get out of the state where you constantly fight with yourself, where you constantly blame yourself, or where you constantly say that you were wrong. What if you can get out of that? That is a one step forward. That is something that is really going to take care of your body. That's going to allow your body to be much more healthier than what it is. So everywhere I would like to blame others so that I cannot be there for myself. And I would like to blame myself so that I don't have to be there for myself and I don't have to be present with me. Will you now destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC. All nine shots, boys, powads, and beyonds. Okay, guys, I think that was cool. Was it cool, guys? Did you enjoy?
Yes.
Or are
Yes.
you
Thank
also
you so
fried?
much.
It
Thank
was
you. Are you
amazing. Thank you so much, Nithya.
welcome?
Thank you.
So I think that was like deep, not just cool. It is extremely deep for a 45-minute session. And you should re-listen to this as many times as you can to get out of this and start focusing on what you can create without having a need to prove yourself to you. Because your creations do reduce when you have to prove yourself to yourself, when you really have to prove to you what's happening. So everything that brought up and let down will you destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots, boys, boys, men. Krishna is asking episode number. I think you can just go by the date. If you just note down this date, you should figure out which episode is in this date. So
Oh, thank you.
how does it get better? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shots. Boys, powads, and beyonds. So how does it get better? And if you guys are interested in more, I do have a foundation class on 22nd of March, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 3.5 days. And I do have a before sculpting class in Delhi starting March 16th that really changes anything and everything for you. Neha just attended my Bangalore class and we can see how much has changed. Kanika was there in Hyderabad, no, Mumbai. Yeah. So there are like really amazing changes that you get from this. And I have talked enough about before sculpting, I think, in previous classes, or you can check it out on my website if you want to know more. But we do have amazing classes coming up. So if any one of you is interested, get in touch with me. Yeah, Molika is saying foundation is life changing. Yes, it is the class that if you want to change anything and everything in your life, the prereq would be bars, and it's live in Bangalore. You have to come over to Bangalore. So, okay, guys, thank you. Thank you for listening to me, and we will touch base next week. Thank you. Bye bye.